This poem is called Jack Potter's Courtin, and it's by a New Mexican poet named S. Omar Barker, and he used his initials for his brand, but he put the S on its side to make it a lazy S, so his brand was the Lazy S.O.B. So here's a poem by the Lazy S.O.B., Jack Potter's Courtin. Now, young Jack Potter was a man that knowed the ways of steers, from the burr nests in their hairy tails to the ticks that chawed their ears. A Texican and cowhand, to the saddle bred and born, he could count a trail herd on the move and never miss a horn. But one day, on a tally back in 1884, Jack got to acting dreamy, and he sure did miss the score. The old man knowed the symptoms. Jack, you ain't no good like this. I'll give you just 10 days to go and find out what's amiss. Amiss is just what ailed him, for he'd fell in love, for sure, with a gal named Courtin, mighty pretty, sweet and pure. So now Jack rode 100 miles, just a sweatin' with a thought of sweetsome words to ask her with, the way a feller ought. I'm just a humble cowhand, Miss Courtin, if you please, who hereby asks your heart and hand upon my bended knees. It sounded mighty simple, thus rehearsed upon the trail, but when he got to Courtin's, his words all seemed to fail. It was, howdy, ma'am. How's the crops? How's your ma and pa? But when it come to asking her, Jack couldn't come to taw. He took her to a dance one night. The hoss she rode was his. He's a dandy little horse, she says. Well, yep, says Jack, he is. They rode home late together, and the moon was riding high, and Jack starts into talking about the stars up in the sky and, well, how they'd guide a trail herd like they do sea-going ships. But words of love and marriage just would not cross his lips. So he starts in about the pony she was riding, and he said, you know, he's fancy-gaited and don't never fight his head. He's sure a little dandy, she agrees, and heaves a sigh. And Jack says, well, you can have him, maybe if I die. He was figuring she might savvy and maybe guess and give him that sweet answer that he longed for, namely yes. But when they reached the ranch house, he was still a-wondering how he would ever pop the question. And he had to do it now, or wait and sweat and suffer till the drive was done that fall, when maybe she'd be married and he'd lose her after all. He put her saddle in the barn, led his pony to the gate. I reckon I'll be drifting, ma'am. It's getting kind of late. Her eyes were bright as starlight. Her lips were sweet as flowers. And Jack says, now, well, this here pony, is he mine or is he ours? Our pony, Jack, she answered with a voice as sweet as moss. And Jack, he claims he kissed her, but she claims he kissed the hoss.